You're listening to the Very Serious Crafts podcast.
We're very serious crafters.
And we craft very serious crafts.
Very serious.
Get ready, Chicago! We Very Serious Crafters have an exciting announcement to make. On Saturday, January 26th from 1 to 3 p.m., we will be hosting our first live show at the Harold Washington Library Center, the main branch of Chicago Public Library. We will be recording an episode live before doing a fun make-and-take craft for adults, hosted by all three of us. Please note that this program is for adults only, and registration is required by visiting chicagopubliclibrary.org. Hello, and welcome to episode 18 of the Very Serious Crafts podcast. I'm Heidi from Hands Occupied.
I'm Molly from Wild Olive.
And I'm Haley from Red-Handled Scissors. Today we'll be talking about holiday memories, seasonal crafting, and more.
Whee! Happy holidays!
Yay! Yes. I think it's going to snow here today. I'm kind of excited. It'll be the first snow in Brooklyn.
Very cool.
It has been snowing here, although I just looked out the window and it has stopped now. But we've had a bit of snow.
I'm looking forward this winter, Molly, to comparing your suburban versus my city snow the whole time.
Yeah, because it's like we're not that far apart, but it can vary quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm a lot closer to Lake Michigan over here.
Yeah.
But, yeah, speaking of snow, I was just traveling. My husband and I went on vacation to Colorado, which was amazing.
Yes,
we got to hike in the mountains. It was beautiful, too. And then, we got to spend some time in Denver, and I got to go to make the pilgrimage to Fancy Tiger Crafts and get some really cute stuff.
Nice.
Excellent.
And then I ended up in Fargo because my grandmother's been ill. And Fargo lives up to its name. It was 0 degrees on November 12th. And there were 4 inches of snow. It was super cool.
How fun.
Yeah. Yep. And then since my grandma's been in the hospital, she's been in and out of the ICU. She's a neuro patient right now, a neurological patient. But she's so thin as well, and she's just in this little hospital gown that her hands were getting so cold that her, monitors were going off. And I was like, well, that just won't do.
Yikes.
And she also had very nervous, fidgety hands. And I remembered that there are these things called twiddle muffs that you can make. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a silly name. But they're so you can, for one thing, have a hand warmer that if you have tubes attached to the back of your hand, you can easily get in and out, and so can your nurses, which is nice. Mm-hmm. And then you can put stuff on there. I crocheted them with some ribbing and some baubles, so they're things you can just fidget with. And then twiddle muffs, there's also different charity drives. There's people looking for them for donations for memory care patients, and that you can do things like put buttonholes or little ribbons that they can tie into bows if they want. It's almost like a little toddler activity thing, but for a hand warmer.
Yeah.
I think that I would like that. As someone on the autism spectrum, that would be a really nice fidget.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For stimming and stuff.
And the name then makes a lot of sense when you know what it is. But
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was so confused when you were telling us that you were making them. It's like, what in the world is a twiddle muff? Should I know what that is?
Yeah. I've never heard of it before. But so I assume there's patterns to be found online for this sort of thing?
Yeah, I found patterns. You can also, if you just want to buy one for a gift for someone, since it is the holiday season, I found some on Etsy from handmade sellers. And I'll probably put out the pattern of the one I whipped up for my grandma. Because it's easy. Cool. It's just crocheted in the round, and it's got ribbing and baubles, and I did it in a beige and gray variegated colorway of Bernat blanket because it's 100% polyester.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was able to make 2 muffs out of 1 skein, and then they're totally washable and dryable. And because my grandma, she keeps spilling food too because she's in the hospital. Yeah. I just thought it was really cool, and I never had actually seen up close why a twiddle muff would exist. And it's so great because now my grandma will have warm hands, but also she won't be pulling on tubes that she shouldn't be pulling on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is cool. So
I think that's great.
Yeah, that's my little thing. And it was nice to be able to give her something handmade that took 2 hours to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So, on the topic of handmade gifts that maybe don't take 2 hours, so I'm going to a wedding this weekend, and like a month and a half ago, I had this great idea that I would make an embroidered wedding hoop for the couple. You know, like the thing that's kind of trendy these days is, you know, floral hoop, and it has their names and the date or something to that effect. And I was like, this is great. I'm
Yeah, sure. Those are lovely.
Yeah. I'll design a pattern in my own style, and I'll stitch this up. Maybe at some point I'll even release the pattern. So 2 birds, 1 stone, which is a terrible way to talk about making a wedding gift that's supposed to be meaningful. But anyway.
I bet
yeah, but
we're
if
all
you're-
guilty of that.
I mean, it's just how it
Yeah.
is, you know. But I never really got it started. And so then this week I'm looking at it going, I still haven't made this. I haven't I haven't started this. Maybe I could still get it done in time. And I felt very much like you're getting ready for a vacation. And I decided.
I know that pull, and you really think you
I know.
can do it.
I'm like, I'm even today, I'm 2 days away from this wedding. And I'm like, but maybe. And nope, they're getting a crock pot.
Don't do it.
Yep.
So there you go. Did not.
Are they crafters by chance?
No. So,
So I'd say you could design the pattern
Yeah.
and give it to them, but never mind.
no. It's.
And see, I'm enabling. I
know.
can't help myself.
I know that's it. You know,
Oh my gosh.
maybe they'll get it for their first anniversary.
No, and that would be lovely.
Yes.
So I finally returned to my local knit night this week after just months of not going. And this always happens. My local knit night is like a 10-minute walk from me. I always enjoy myself. I really like the owner of the store. It's just a nice, cozy gathering of people who are making things. And I somehow managed to convince myself, thanks to social anxiety, that I am terrified of these people. And if I don't go for like a couple of weeks, all of a sudden they've turned into monsters in my mind.
No.
Except they have never turned into monsters. They were so nice when I showed up. They're like, oh, are you here to be here? And I was like, yes, I am. And I sat down, and it was delightful, and it always is, but I always work myself up so much and don't go, and I'm never sorry when I do, and I really need to remember that, and I never do.
Yeah.
But I did this week.
Yay!
Win.
I can so relate to that.
Yep. It is very relatable.
Yeah.
And it's so silly. It's just people you like to hang out with making things.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to be sitting on my couch making things. There's no reason for me to not walk the 10 minutes to... Ugh.
Yeah, and you don't even always have to
And
engage
yet.
all that much. You can just sort of be there quietly
No.
working, but
Yeah.
And that's mostly what I did. I mean, I took part in the conversation initially and then mostly just did my thing while pleasant chatter happened around me. And I don't know. You would think that having a podcast where I hang out with my friends and talk about making things, I would be used to this.
Yeah.
And yet.
Yeah, I've gone to a couple of the same knit nights consistently, and I'll start to get texts if I don't go, or like Instagram messages from people in the group, and I'm like, maybe. And because I just get, and I go and then I feel anxious because I feel like, oh, it's too quiet. I should talk and entertain people. And it's like, then I feel like I never get anything done, and blah, blah, blah. Social anxiety is real.
It is very real, and also the point of going to knit night is not productivity.
Yeah, that too.
right.
Oh, that's funny. Well,
That I need to remember also.
yeah. Well, speaking of social gatherings and the holidays,
Oh, yes.
so we all were texting this week while we were getting ready for this episode, and I've been in obviously like a funny headspace being with my grandma at the hospital, and I was like, is it okay if we talk about memories that come up around the holidays and maybe the bittersweet part of the holidays? Thinking that it would be like way too depressing, and Haley and Molly were like, sure thing.
Yeah, I'm up for depressing.
I mean, it's really relatable.
Yeah.
Like, again, like, my grandma's currently in the hospital, so my headspace is a little more, like, emotional about the stuff that we make at Christmas time, because my family on both sides celebrates Christmas. And my grandma, who's in the hospital, is on the Norwegian side, and so a lot of the things that we make around the holidays are traditional Norwegian cookies of a lot of varieties. Spoiler alert, it's butter, sugar, and almond extract. That's why Norwegian cookies are good.
Almond extract is my favorite secret ingredient
and it smells
in
so good.
baking broadly.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's the baking. There's also we'll do some traditional, like there's always the crafts in the form of ornaments that are on our tree, and on my grandma's side, they tend to be a little bit more Scandinavian looking. We have some wood ornaments that my grandfather, her husband, made over the years, and it's just really nice when you're decorating the tree, especially if someone's sick or is no longer with us, to think about those things and maybe even talk about things with the people you're decorating your tree with or your house with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you guys have any things like that that make you feel all fuzzy and Christmassy inside?
Yeah. So definitely Christmas cookie baking is one of those things that comes up frequently in my family, because we have the Swedish side of things. So as you were describing some of the ornaments...
Ooh, Swedish people!
Oh, for goodness sake, says the German.
Well, I have Swedish and German.
Wait, we have some very specific styles covered.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, for the record. There's nothing wrong with Swedish people.
Well, so my grandpa was German and my grandma was Swedish, and that brought about some interesting things in their family, apparently, as they were dating and getting married. But my grandpa made a lot of ornaments and things and decorations that are probably similar to what you're describing, Heidi. And they would have, he was German, but he was making things in more of a Swedish style, because I think that like probably all of my grandma's friends, even like relatives, obviously, but friends were also very Swedish. So that was the way to go. So we definitely have a few of those things around that come out. I also like, this is terrible, because this is going to get bittersweet depressing, but many of, like, basically the entire generation before my mom on her side is all gone now. And so we end up being the family that takes care of a lot of their things when they've passed away. And what that usually means is all of the gifts that you gave them come back to you to deal with or keep. Yeah. There have even been a few gifts that came back to us still not even opened or used in any way, which is kind of amusing in itself. But handmade things tend to be the ones that you then want to keep. And, so you've made it that for someone and then you keep it. So I made like a little chicken ornament for my grandpa that he kept out all year round, and it was always out at their house. Aww. And so then that came back to me, which was a nice thing to have. And then a friend of ours lost his battle to cancer a couple of years ago, and he was like dear, close family friend, and to lose him was actually even harder than all of the relatives that had gone before. Ones that we were like relatives we were very close with, but he was even closer still. And so one year I made him a coffee cup that was embroidered with a Starbucks red cup on it, because we would always get excited about the red cups coming out. And I made that for him, and as we were helping his family go through his house, that was one of the things that was in it was there in his kitchen and by all of his coffee things, and I saw it, and it was like, okay, is it okay if I keep this? Yeah. So so I got to keep that, and One time my sister, like it's there for me to use. Like I use it. But one time I saw my sister use it and I didn't say anything, but I was like, like I was like trying to keep it together.
Yeah.
And I like, after it came back to the drawer, I like hid it so that no one else would ever use it. And that's terribly selfish of me. But it was like, it's one of those things that became really important to me because it was made for him, and then now it gets, and I still only use it during Red Cup season, so.
Yeah. That's really sweet. I love that.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I've got some stockings that I made and designed that are specific to, like they look like my husband and I. I think I maybe mentioned them at some point before, but they're snowmen, and I customized them like with little glasses and a cardigan for me, and I don't remember what's specifically on his because it was less complicated than mine. But I started making them for our cats as well, and I'm gonna cry about it. It would seem, but as you guys know, if you listen to the previous episode, my Simon cat recently passed away, but a few years before that, our other cat, Pixel, also passed away. And I'd started these stockings for them when Pixel was still alive. And so I couldn't quite ever decide whether I was going to finish these stockings that I had started. And so I haven't yet. And I'm definitely going to find them very soon when I open my holiday box and and get out the stockings. And so I'm feeling a little bittersweet about it, I have to say.
Yeah.
I'm a monster. Why did I suggest this topic?
Oh no. I think that
it's cathartic in a way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I also love that those are there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, I think that that's such a, like, and I may or may not ever finish them, but I love that there's tangible evidence of these very, very, very loved members of my family.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice to have that experience, like to feel really close.
Yeah. Well, and I
think friends and family who've passed.
Yeah, I think that when you make things, especially for people, but really a lot of times for me, anytime, there's memories that kind of get built into what it is you're working on. Sometimes for me, like I often get very like sensory memories, like where I remember what I was listening to when I was working on this, or like the Netflix series that went along with the project I was making. And so then you combine that with holidays and people that you love, and it's a whole big thing. Yeah. And that makes sense. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love feeling close to family around the holidays in that way.
Yeah. And I actually, just talking about this, I'd kind of forgotten about this, and I was reminded of it actually when I was at my folks' house earlier this week. Down in the utility room in their basement, which is a hoarder cave that I will deal with someday, there was a swatch of knitting that my dad had push pinned onto his bulletin board that he keeps down there. And it's this old it's like half chalkboard, half bulletin board. And the chalkboard half has this, "Hi, Dad," that I wrote on there when I was like 15, and it still hasn't been erased.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, my dad's great. And then on the bulletin board side, there was this swatch. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, this yarn. And I had this memory because it was a swatch I definitely would have knitted in high school when I was getting way more serious about knitting. And it was the same yarn I had used to make my mother-in-law a scarf for Christmas. And she passed 18 months ago. And then when we went through her clothes, we found it in, like, the drawer with her nicer shawls and things. Yeah. And my sister-in-law remembered I gave it to her and was like, would you like this back? So that was sweet, too. And I know I'm going to get that
is
dang
sweet.
twiddle muff back, and I'll probably just fully cry.
Yeah.
Well,
Which I'm trying to not do now, but I guess since this was my
You're
stupid
welcome to
idea
join
for a
us in
topic,
weeping.
yeah, since this
I
was
was
my
gonna
topic,
say.
I better cry to make it even.
We're all going to cry about it. Well,
Yeah.
I have a funny story about holiday related handmade hijinks if we would like to raise our spirits a
Sounds
bit.
good.
So this isn't something that I made, but it's a handmade gift that someone made for me that went terribly wrong. And I say this with love.
Of course.
So one year, my grandma on my dad's side asked me what I wanted for Christmas. And this was mid to late 90s. And so I was like right around the beginning of my teens. And do you guys remember, and you grew up in the Midwest and cold areas, so I'm sure that you experienced these. Do you remember the super long, like, elf ski hats?
Oh,
Yes.
heck yeah.
Like, that everybody
Definitely, yes.
had, the like, really, really long.
Mm-hmm. And there were the polar
Long
fleece
winter
ones,
hats.
too.
Yes, yes, exactly.
That I recently
And
just saw a
so-
Christmas tree pattern for one like it. So it looks like a giant.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And, ooh, that actually would look really great.
Yeah, it's pretty cute. I'll see if I can find the link. I'll put it in. I'll put it in the show notes for that.
Right. And so this was like a thing on the ski hills of Michigan, which seems like a terrible idea given ski lifts. Like, adult me is like, I don't know. But so I told my grandma that I wanted a, like, striped, super long stocking cap. Not really considering that she never left the farm. And definitely would not necessarily have the in on current head fashion in local ski wear of my youth. Mm-hmm. So not only did she really, really latch on to the extra long part and the striped part, she never asked what kind of stripes. And so my grandma, who did a lot of stuff on, like, circular knitting looms, made this 6 foot tall, like, round knit stocking cap with the yarn color switched every rotation.
Oh my goodness.
And so we're talking, the top of the hat did not taper at all. It was like an old school, like as big as your head, round hat that was 6 feet tall with single ply stripes.
Jeez.
Was that like
I don't know how long that...
like dizzying, I would think, to look at.
Or to make.
Yeah.
I have no idea how long that must have taken her because it was worsted weight.
Okay.
So it could have been worse, but it wasn't good.
I made
And so
I was gonna say
Yeah.
I made a hat on a round knitting loom that was way too big. And it was not super long, it was just too big around. It was like you could just cover it. Yeah, I should have just cut holes in it. It would have been a ski mask. It was huge.
yeah, and I mean that also plays into it. My head is smaller than average, and it was because I am smaller than average. And it was also like an adult-sized ski hat. And so I realized, like, upon opening it, the terrible mistake that I had made. But here I am, surrounded by my family, opening this thing that my grandmother has obviously worked so hard at.
Yes.
And spent so much time on. And so I pasted that grin on my face and put it on, and I wore it for the rest of Christmas.
Good job.
And it definitely did not stay on my head. I probably could have pulled it down and pulled it like more than over my entire body because I also was like 50 pounds at that age. Like, oh my gosh.
She basically made you one of those baby cocoons.
She really, she made me like a swaddle. If I had stepped in it upside, like actually that might have been great. I might have slept so well if I had thought about that. And I think it still exists. My mom in the front hall closet has like the bin of winter wear that exists in all Midwestern homes where you just grab the thing off the top, but you have not seen what's on the bottom for 20 years. And so I am fairly certain that that hat is folded up at the bottom of that bin and probably still exists. And that grandmother has Alzheimer's and is now in a memory facility and, like, would not have any recollection of this ridiculous thing. But it makes me it feels so warm and fuzzy when I think about it because, she tried so hard. And it, like, my request was utterly lost in generational translation. Like, oh, dear. Anyway.
I mean, I feel like most styles from the 90s were like to our grandmothers who were like in their like 20s in the 50s or whatever. They're probably like, what is wrong with these people? Why are they wearing these garbage clothes? Like style.
And I mean, I kind of feel like that sometimes when I walk by an Urban Outfitters and I'm like, oh right, I'm almost 36. And it's that everything now looks like it came out of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which I love, by the way. I'm that kind of geek. But I walk by and like, no, we already did floral and leather.
Yeah, we did.
Nope.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, so that poor hat, my grandma's poor hands, I don't even understand.
Well, maybe you can make her a twiddle muff.
I could make like a really thick twiddle muff out of that thing. That's actually true. And it is definitely acrylic. So, oh man. Mm-hmm. And I picked out the colors and oh gosh, it was a thing.
Well, one thing that I'm thinking about doing this Christmas season, and apologies, by the way, to people who don't celebrate Christmas. We all three do. Thank you for bearing with us while we reminisce.
Yes.
I will talk about not Christmassy things in a second.
But one thing I'm thinking about doing this year is I've seen several makers do this on Instagram, mostly in the last couple years. They cast on a pair of socks on Christmas Eve, like once the house is settled and everybody's just like watching a Christmas movie or visiting or whatever by the fire. And they cast on a pair of socks Christmas Eve. And the point is to finish the socks by the new year. So you've done all your making for your gifts for other people, but then you get to selfishly make yourself a pair of socks with which to start the new year, which I think is a really fun idea.
I
kind of love that.
And
and it's not selfish.
No, it's not.
It's not.
And I like it too because I feel like that would open up the possibility of just explaining sock yarn to your family. And being like, just go to a yarn shop, like an independently owned yarn shop, and just ask for sock yarn. You just need to buy one thing of it. So it's not like you're asking them for like a $75 kit or something. And then you can, if your family does gifts on Christmas Eve, my family does one gift Christmas Eve. And that could be the one gift. And then you could just do the thing. And then that also gives you something to do with your hands while you're like in this... You're trying to enjoy, like, the niceness of the holiday, but also, like, not be anxious about family dynamics, which a lot of people have.
Well, it's also a really good excuse to just sit down instead of, like, trying to run around and be productive. And, like, it's like, enforced relaxation almost if you're not, for people who aren't very good at relaxing, like I am personally terrible at. because you've got like this goal, like you're being productive, but you're also hanging out with your family or your friends or your cats, because sometimes you don't want to hang out with your family or your friends.
Well, I think,
and it's just nice.
Yeah. Last year, in that week between Christmas and New Year, I was working on a shawl, and I got so much done during that week because that just felt like it was okay to take some time during that. Like,
yes,
even if you technically are working during that, there's something about that week that to me always feel, and like we homeschool, so in my family, my younger siblings are, I mean, I'm not anymore, but there's, it's not like
you don't have any book reports to do.
We don't. But I always say like we homeschool. I guess I help with it. So anyway, but we don't have a set like calendar for time off for school.
Oh, right.
And yet there's still something about that week that it feels like a vacation week, even if you're just at home. And I love that feeling.
Yeah.
So having
totally.
a set knitting project during that. I've never knit socks before. Maybe this would be the year to try.
Oh, knitting socks is so nice. I love turning a heel. It's one of my favorite things. It's just...
What style of heel do you like?
I like short rows.
Okay. That's the one I learned. I just tried an afterthought heel, though, for a 2 at a time toe up. And I was like, ooh, but this is really fast and easy. So I probably will do that for my Christmas socks.
So I love that idea.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it before, and I really like it.
I definitely have a stash of sock yarn that I've never knit socks, but I have a stash of sock yarn, so that might happen.
Ooh, Molly, this can be our excuse to get together. Sock knitting lesson.
Ooh. Yes.
That could be good.
And do you have Knitting Rules by Stephanie Pearl McPhee?
No. I do not.
Because her sock recipe is awesome.
I know a lot of people who swear by it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's what I use. And turning the heel made so much sense. That's why I love doing it. Mm-hmm. Because it worked with the mathy part of my brain, and the organizational part of my brain, and it's just so well explained.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I like it. Okay. And it does not matter. Like, then you will make socks that are actually the right length for you also if you use it. It's really great.
Yeah.
Very helpful. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Not that anyone asked. I'm just saying.
But speaking of knitting things, one of the things that came up as we were talking about Christmas memories and loved ones and all of that, one of the things that I remembered was, so my grandma was a knitter, and I learned to knit from her. And I still wish that I'd learned more from her when she was around and really actively knitting. But it didn't seem important at the time. And now it's a regret in my life. But anyway, she made so many things for so many people all the time. New babies always got a new a blanket. Not just babies in the family, like friends' babies and,
just babies.
Yeah, just lots and lots of knitting. But then one year, she made, I think the idea was that they were Christmas gifts, but they were gifts that were given early on so that they could be enjoyed through the whole season. She knit these snowflake sweaters for a bunch of people in the family. I think my mom did not get one for some reason. She probably didn't want one, but it would.
She was on the naughty list.
She was probably on the I'm not going to wear that list. But,
same difference.
Yeah. But they were pullover sweaters that had, I think they had like vertical, if I'm remembering them correctly, like 4 vertical sections in alternating like red and white, or she made some that were, I think, like aqua and white. There might have been another color. And then they had snowflakes worked into those panels. She made at least 6 of them that year for gifts.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of sweaters. And I'm sure she was making tons of other stuff throughout the year as well. But I remember, like, it was a big to-do to get everyone's measurements, and you got to choose your color, and somewhere there are photos of all of these ladies in the, because I think she only made them for the ladies, although that could be wrong, lined up in these snowflake sweaters that they made. And I mean, I still look at it and just go,
that's awesome.
Yeah. It just amazes me that she was so committed to making these gifts in a year. She clearly had to have been...
That is so much work.
Yeah, and she had to have been a fairly fast knitter.
Yeah.
I don't, like...
And also very organized.
Yeah.
To make them custom sized.
Yeah. They were, I mean, and I don't know how much customization she did or if she was, just adjusting slight, but still very, like, they were all different sized, certainly. And I think she made some child size ones and grown up size ones and everything in between. But yeah, it was like,
wow.
Yeah.
That's so many sweaters.
That is so many sweaters.
That is a Mrs. Weasley level of knitting for the holidays. And she didn't have magic.
That is exactly what I was thinking.
I love
Weasley sweater. Oh, I love a Weasley sweater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is really, really impressive. And like I feel horrified by it, even though I am heavily into my seasonal crafting transition.
Yeah.
Which is now all I want to do is make tea and knit things.
Yep.
Which is, the weather has gotten cold enough, so I've been doing nothing but stitch things all summer. Mm-hmm. And I was really looking forward to, like, jumping into some garment making, but all I want to do is knit.
Yeah.
Or crochet.
Yep.
I'm mostly crocheting right now, actually. But every time the thermometer, like, hits around 50... I would like to be sitting on my couch, and I would like to have some sort of cozy yarn project involved. And that will go away sometime around spring when I will pack away the things and never want to see them again. But, like, even though I am feeling, like, full sweater excitement at the moment, like, I am at peak sweater potential. The idea of making 6 sweaters for anybody, like the idea of making 6 sweaters for myself is laughable.
Yeah. I think
the idea of making 6 sweaters that are not for me, no.
I know that she made one for herself as well, because of course she wanted to match and all the, and also, I mean, you got to picture all of these women in the family wearing their matching sweaters for a photo, which is, I mean, that could be the sole purpose of knitting all those sweaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was the sole purpose.
Yeah.
And it makes me really happy that they exist. But, oh man, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
But I'm almost done with my Hotel of Bees shawl, though. So I'm pretty excited to move on to my next project.
I did think it was, as you were talking about your, like, kind of back into this seasonal crafting thing, or seasonal knitting, this was the first year that I can remember where I was knitting and crocheting through the summer. I never do that. Mm-hmm. I always don't want to be touching any yarn, but I just didn't want to stop. It was very weird. I definitely had a bug.
No, that's I like that. I also jump into the quilting pit also around this time of year, so I will be pulling out my never-ending parade of hexagons that I will eventually make into something. I don't know. But that is also on my list of things to do, because there's something nice about having a warm mass of creativity just sort of on your lap.
Yes.
When it's chilly out, you know?
Yep.
My favorite thing to design I've accepted is an Afghan. I love it. I don't know. I think that's definitely not the case for a lot of designers, but I love it.
I don't think I've ever made, not with yarn anyway, an Afghan. I've quilted, like lap quilts and things like that, but I've never made an Afghan.
Yeah.
It's the barrier to entry of not having enough of the right thing in my stash when I'm going to start something.
Yeah. And a lot of people just are like, no, I'm not going to go there. And I'm like, fine, I guess I'll start designing more sweaters, because that's what most people want. And socks.
I mean, I don't know. I think your blanket designs are beautiful.
Yeah.
I would totally make that stuff. I just never have the supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They do take like 10 skeins.
Yeah. I keep seeing all of these beautiful Afghan patterns or even small blanket patterns, and I love them. It is definitely a time factor for me. Although, and I'm sort of like transitioning here with this thought. I recently had a baby blanket that I needed to make for work, and because it needed new photos on an old pattern, and so I was crocheting along on this baby blanket and enjoying it very much, but time came down to like, okay, now you just have to finish it, and it's just not quite finished. I'd like it to be a little bit bigger, so I photographed it.
I know where this is going.
I photographed it not finished because it's a blanket. You can kind of conceal where the edges are on that, and so it's posted and it looks great on the internet, but it's in fact still sitting here unfinished. And I've done that with several other projects recently. And this is my official Train of Shame broadcast of the I have all these unfinished things, and they probably are going to stay that way because now everything else is more urgent than these. So yeah,
That is so relatable.
That's why I'm not making an Afghan, because I've already got all these other things that it doesn't mean that I won't start one, but all of the unfinished things that, so there you have it.
Well, while we're talking about the Train of Shame, I definitely have a ticket to ride.
Oh, the Train of Shame has arrived in Chicago.
Oh, Storm's even whining that she's mad. I just keep trying to I have a basket of laundry, and I just keep chucking socks at her, hoping she'll wait for 10 more minutes. But she won't. Anyway, so what I'm writing the Train of Shame for is, in case anybody was wondering about that pom-pom toilet costume, or whatever we called it, that's not done. That is super not done. It's going to be a 2019 probably Halloween costume.
Well,
I mean, oh well.
Yeah. It's okay.
And like, I had a lot of deadlines, and I got diagnosed with a new kind of repetitive stress injury, and I was just like, I can't justify like working on this.
No,
life happens.
No.
Yeah.
It does.
But
in similar fashion, I can report that I have not yet started my Professor Meow sweater that I so excitedly said I was going to take some time and make something for me in an earlier episode. I haven't started it. My Hotel of Bees shell's almost done, though, so...
Yeah, so
I guess it's next.
Great.
I just bought a new project bag that the yarn for it will fit in.
that's good.
So...
Good.
Small steps, preparation.
Yeah.
Alas.
Well, since Storm really wants to go potty or something, I think I'm going to wrap up this episode.
Okay. I think you should.
I think
that's
perfect.
Totally fine.
If Storm could...
Take it away, Heidi and Storm.
Yeah, if Storm could speak, I'd let her. So you might hear her whining in the background. She's not abused. She's just almost 15 and tells me when she wants something.
I appreciate that,
Yeah.
But anyway, if you have a Train of Shame story, don't forget to share it on social media using hashtag VSC Train of Shame. That's VSC Train of Shame, all one word. You can also share your favorite stories related to what we've discussed on Very Serious Crafts. using hashtag Very Serious Crafts and tagging us with @SeriousCrafts so we can reshare your Instagram stories, which we love doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And follow us on Instagram because we're fun.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Thanks for
I
listening
do.
to the
All
Very
right,
Serious
friends.
Crafts
And Storm.
podcast.
Well, he's
Be sure to
Storm is a
visit
friend.
veryseriousscrafts.com for show
She
notes,
just wants
and
to visit.
Storm.
links, and more.
All right.
Have a great
All right,
day.
well, yeah, happy holidays for those who celebrate.
Yeah.
Yes. Happy holidays, guys.
And happy
All right.
crafting.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.